So my definition of leadership for me is one's ability to guide someone to their truth and salvation. And the reason why I say that is only by being who God sent you to be can you affect the change that you're supposed to affect. Everybody has their purpose. Everybody has their reason for being here. Everybody has their reason. And the people who are there are going to affect. But just like a tree grows and it doesn't start walking, it doesn't start talking, it doesn't communicate to us the way we want, the way we're communicating now. It does communicate, but not the way, it communicates the way a tree communicates. So that you have to be like a tree in order to communicate with that tree. But that tree is not trying to be a lion, it's not trying to be a gazelle, it's not trying to be a deer. It's being a tree, it's being still, it's providing shade, it's providing fruit. It has its purpose. And only by being that tree can it serve its purpose. So I can give you tools as a leader. If I can guide you to giving you the tools so that you can be who you are, then you can affect the people that you're supposed to affect, and you can guide and lead those people. I believe the best teachers, the best leaders are people who, one, can first follow, listen, and then can also teach you how to be your own teacher, teach you how to be your own leader. I don't want you to continue to follow me. I don't want you to watch me move a mountain. I want you to come over here and move this mountain with me. I don't need fans. I don't need people who are, oh yeah, Zory, yeah, Zory. No. Come over here and push your hands on. But I need to, if you don't know how, then I will have to teach you. So that's why my definition is somebody who can guide you to yourself. Because only by knowing yourself and finding yourself can you truly serve your purpose. I believe it has changed over the years just because my understanding of where I'm at and where people are at. I understand some people don't want to be leaders. Some people don't want to have multiple people that they're responsible for and that they're guiding and they're doing this. And some people don't want to lead themselves. So I understand that some people want to follow. And I also understand that that's okay. Everybody can't be a shepherd. Everybody just can't be. And everybody's not supposed, that's not everybody's purpose. So it used to be anybody who had a vision. Leadership was anybody who had a vision and was guiding a bunch of people. But I got away from that because I believe that everybody does have something in them that they can fulfill and that they should fulfill. And if I can bring that out of you, whether it's leadership, whether it's just playing a role really well, then I feel like that's true leadership, is looking at every piece and saying, okay, he's good here, she's good there, they're not good there, but I'm not going to put them there because that's going to embarrass them, that's going to hurt them, that's going to be more harmful to them. Let me place them, let me have the real vision to see what somebody needs and how to bring that out of them. And that's, to me, has how leadership has transformed for me. Style has, I feel like, has always been vulnerability, my willingness to play any position, and my fight for integrity and honor. And I say that because I want to do a thing right. It's speed comes later, but let's do it right. I'm not going to sacrifice form for speed. I want to do a thing right. I want it to look well. I want it to be presented well. I want people to take me seriously, us seriously. So I've always led with, okay, I'll play Michael, I'll play Dennis, I'll play Tony Kukoc, I'll play Scottie Pippen, I'll play whoever I need to play. I want to win. I want to win. So I'm willing to get my hands dirty with you. I'm not going to tell somebody to do my dirty work for me. No, I'm going to go put my hands and feet in the soil and I'm going to dig. If you're helping me, if I hire you to help me do a job, what can I help you with? How can I help you? And that to me is real leadership because I'm willing to go with you. Not just, oh, let me send him there. No, I'm going with you. We're all going together. I have a wolf pack mentality, but I also know that the leader always isn't at the front. Sometimes the leader's in the back, sometimes the leader's in the middle. The leader doesn't always have to be in the front, but the leader, to me, knows what all roles are supposed to be doing. The captain of the team should know where this person is, where that person's supposed to be, what's he supposed to do, what he's doing in class, where he's lacking, where he's good at. And just my willingness to get out there and work and just be honest, and just having integrity, because and vulnerability is big for me. I don't want people to think, especially my children, to think I'm Superman who makes no mistakes. I want them to know daddy struggles. Look, these are my struggles. These are things that I need to work with. This is the mud that I stepped in. I feel like my vulnerability is a superpower, because my ability to express myself allows people. I've lived so many different lives. So I can communicate. If I can communicate to you my truth, I can show you that I'm no better than you. You can get to where I'm going. I'm not better than you. I might work harder than you, but I'm not better than you. And if I can just instill that piece of vulnerability, like a lot of people say, no, you can't tell people the truth. You can't tell people the truth. They'll take advantage of you. I say, if they're going to take advantage of me, then they weren't supposed to be on my team anyways. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be vulnerable, because that's a superpower. You take away, when you tell people what you're not good at, because I'm not going to not be good at it for long. When I'm telling you I'm not good at something, that don't mean that tomorrow I'm going to still be this sorry. That means that I'm working on something. I might not know it all, but I'm willing to learn. And that's what makes me, I feel like, my style of leadership, and that's what makes it unique, because I'm so willing to be vulnerable, and I really want to do a good job. It's not always about money, but it's about because money's gonna come and go, but what they say about you isn't gonna change, because you can't change people's opinions of you. That's not for you. That's not your job. Your job is to change your own opinion of yourself, and continue to move forward to become a greater version or a lesser version, just depending on what you're trying to experience yourself as. And that's hard to just pick one. But if I was to pick one, and I think you might like this, it's one's ability to assert themselves and their position while being challenged. But do it respectfully, but do it in a respectful manner. I feel like that is one of the most challenging pieces of leadership. Okay, first one, I have to shout out my mother, Carol Motley. And the reason why I say my mother, because my mother is an alchemist in her own manner. She's and this just by nature. Similar to how the lady said she might not feel like she's a leader, same way my mother might not understand how spiritual her essence is. But I call her an alchemist because when I was like 6, my parents split up, and not much of my father's presence was felt after that. My mom, we were living in Arizona, 3 children. My mom, both of my parents are from DC, moved back to DC. My father stayed in Arizona. And I saw my mom go from this level to this level to this level to this level to this level. Now she's in Miami. She's working high up with the convention, and just recently they awarded her with top 40 black influential people in South Miami. And that was just such a huge deal for me to see my mom fight. She didn't say too much about my dad. She didn't make a fuss. I've never seen my mom, on drugs. I've never seen her, with several men. She just always set a very great standard for me and my siblings as a leader. Like, she was my brother's basketball coach manager, and she's in a world. My dad went to the NFL, and we didn't have any of his resources. She didn't know a lick. She didn't play sports growing up, and she got in there and she was moving around with all these men, and she learned how to learn the game and learn the industry. And she just rose up, like, I mean, level after level, like where we were living in my grandparents' house, had nothing. Then we moved to the apartments. Then we moved to a townhome, and now now she owns properties. Like, I've watched this woman level herself up time and time again. She is a leader in her own right. She leads a whole team of people, teaching them what she's done. They've, written articles about her mentorship and how she leads. So she has given me something that she doesn't even know she's given me, because she didn't teach me, like, sit down, son, I'm gonna teach you how to lead. I watched her, like, keep her head down, continue to make people feel comfortable in her presence, continue to nurture people, she goes from Miami back and forth to take care of her mother in DC. She's traveling all over the world, like literally all over, just selling here, selling there, Top 40 in South Miami. And I was just looking at my mom, just the way people respect her and the way she moves people. And I was just like, man, this woman, and I gave her hell growing up. I gave her hell growing up, and she never stopped fighting for me. She never stopped fighting for me, and she just showed so much strength, man. Just so much perseverance and so much strength, and that's why I learned how to just keep it moving and keep it pushing, and always how to turn lemons into lemonade. I want to see everybody win, but especially the people who I spend time with. Like, that's my biggest joy, is just watching people win. It's not even just leadership, who I'm leading. I love to watch people do great things, especially when the person who I've seen on the internet who had no legs, he's doing pull-ups and he's flipping up around on his arms. I love seeing that, because I know he had to persevere and overcome to get his mind fixated on the fact that he can do great things even without legs. Like, seeing people overcome is the greatest gift. I mean, it's what I love. One of my passions of life is watching people overcome, because to be great, you're going to have to struggle at some point. And just watching people struggle but get past it. Oh, it's hot. I don't feel like doing it, but they're doing it. Oh, these weights are too much, but I don't feel like doing it, but they doing it. They pushing it up, and I love it, because, man, if somebody in the ring and getting whooped and they get back up, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love seeing people get injured and come back and be greater. I love it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just watching people win. That is my greatest joy. It's just teaching people ways that they can cope with this life, and they can get up and have some strength about them, and have some intention about them, and have some purpose about them, and giving people these tools that when they call me like, Z, bro, what you doing, man, is you helping so many people. Just hearing that, like, it's so much bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bigger than me, man. Like, seeing people who once called me up and they were hopeless, and then I gave them some tools, and they're like, bro, I've been doing what you said I've been doing, man, and I'm on a different type of time now. Like, it's like, you getting it. Yep. Not me, you getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting it, because you have to feel it in your heart to change. You know what I mean? You have to feel it in your heart. I can tell you whatever, but listening is only listening. But when people start implementing that, that's a good feeling when you see people, because I want people to win. So I can't force them to win. They have to choose to win. But just watching them win and watching them implement these tools, man, it's the greatest gift to me. So the biggest challenge, and it's a humbling thing, is knowing that you can't save anyone. They have to save themselves. My children, I can send my son out here with tools to cope, but it's up to him to respond in a manner that's in alignment with his truth. And also, my truth ain't your truth. So I want you to do this and do that. You might not want to do that. But the hardest challenge is knowing that you can lead them to the pond, but you can't force them to drink. And just because everybody who comes up under you, who wants to learn how you did, is not going to follow through. But you still gotta love them. You still have to understand them. You still have to have patience. You still have to have empathy, because I can't call you at 6 when you wake up at 9 every day and be like, wake up. And if you do wake up, you groggy, you like, man, I'm going back to sleep. I can't get mad at you. But I used to. I used to be like, man, what's da 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 da? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? But then I realized I got humility, because somebody told me something several years ago and I wasn't listening because I didn't feel it. They was like, put the bottle down, and I'm inside the bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, only time I put the bottle down when I felt in my heart that I couldn't do it no more. And I was taking no excuses for my health, to place my health as my main priority. But just knowing that you've been the same person that is challenging you now. You were challenging somebody else. So it can get hard sometimes, because when you really truly care about people and really truly want people to win and to want to help them, but they won't help themselves, that's the hardest part of this, man, because they have to choose this and you can't choose it for them. So just not having control over them is the hardest thing. Just letting go of control and just operating within my abilities, I guess, would be the hardest thing in a nutshell, because sometimes you want to jump outside of yourself and do things that you aren't able to do just to help somebody. And you have to realize that's outside of that's outside of me. You know what I mean? Like, that's above my pay grade. Like, that's certain things only God can do. And that's not title. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning to act in a godlike manner, but there's certain things my God is limitless. Source is limitless. I don't have limitless abilities. I only have the abilities that God gave me, and I have to operate and honor those. And I can't control anybody, and that's that's the hardest challenge for me. I'm gonna say it like this: know thyself, learn self, study self, learn ways, research ways to go within. Be still, learn how to be still, learn how to go within. The kingdom is within, so one has to go within. The energy within, learn how to unite with that energy. My whole motto is find out why God put you here and do it every day. My system is called I Choose Life the Cosmic Citizen Way. I Choose Life is the commitment to self that I'm going to devote myself to the daily habits that are going to lead me to more health, prosperity, abundance, peace, happiness, and joy. The cosmic citizen is that energy within all of us that connects all of us, that cosmic energy that connects all of us. So where's that cosmic citizen? That cosmic citizen is within. How do we develop a relationship with that cosmic citizen? By going inside of ourselves and taking that journey within ourselves to be still, so that we can understand what's going on within ourselves. Because when you start understanding what's going on inside, then you start knowing that, oh, that energy over there, that's not me. It might be messing with me, but that's not me. This energy's not good for me. This is not good for me. This doesn't feel good. This feels really good. That feels amazing. You start learning self. If my people shall perish for lack of knowledge, it's knowledge of self that we're lacking. We all need to know thyself, because just like the ant, that one ant comes out of that pile with all these ants are carrying a boulder. One ant moves, the next one moves, and then the boulder comes crashing down. You are just that important. You are just that important as somebody. You finding your purpose is so important, because then and only then can you do what God sent you here to do. And I feel like that is the most important thing that I can tell somebody is learn yourself. You are important. You deserve time. You deserve empathy. You deserve loyalty. You deserve You deserve patience. You deserve understanding. You deserve to know yourself. Because what we do is we a lot of people want to help. We help everybody else. We focus on everybody else. But whatever you focus on grows. If you don't focus on yourself, you won't grow in the way that you're supposed to grow. So focus on yourself. Therefore, when you're doing what you need to do, if me as a father, if I'm not happy, then this whole house is out of structure. So I have to meditate. I have to work out. I have to commit myself to the things that are going to make me a better me, but also make me feel good so that I can cook, so that I can clean when my wife's at work. When she's a nurse, when she's at work, I'm playing her roles and I can't, I don't feel like it. No, I got to have the energy to do everything that I need to do for this house. Also do this, also do that, also take my son over here, also call these people over here. I have to have the energy so that I don't get burned out. But if I'm not taking care of me, I'm going to get burned out. And that one moment you get burned out is when everything falls apart. And that's the moments that we're not prepared for because we're not caring for ourselves. We're not listening to ourselves. We're not understanding ourselves. How are you supposed to eat? How am I supposed to eat? Because the way he eat, I can't eat. So learn that. How am I supposed to work out? Because the way they work out, I can't work out like that. So find out what I'm supposed to be reading. Find out what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to do. Run your race. Don't get mad at me for how I'm running my race. Don't compare yourself for how I run my race. Run your race. Learn, because at a track meet, if you're focused on him and them, you're going to end up missing your race. The gun going to go off and your coach going to be looking at you like, where were you? Oh, I was paying attention. It's not good enough. Not good enough, son. You're supposed to be paying attention for that call. Oh, that's 400. That's my race. It's time to get undressed. It's time to go over there. It's time to put the shoes on. Run your race. But you have to know the race that you're supposed to be running. Self-awareness is key. Self-awareness is key, and enough of us aren't aware of ourselves. We doing things and we don't think life is just effed up. Things are just effed up. If life is effed up, you effing it up. So learn how to manage the stress, because life is not going to stop being stressful. Life is not going to stop being life. You have to be the change that you're looking for. You have to be. So pay attention to self, because what you want, you can have. But you have to learn how to have it first within and then bring it out. And that's what I can say, man. Ask yourself questions. Continue to ask yourself questions. Learn self. And that's the greatest gift I can give away.